We reported about a month and a half ago that the PAC2, Oregon State, Washington State, had solved their scheduling problems by a scheduling alliance with the Mountain West Conference. Now we're getting to the details. The PAC2, Cougars, Beavers, will pay $23 million over 2 years for the right to schedule 6 Mountain West teams each of the next 2 seasons. So that's money that goes into the Mountain West till to be shared by everybody. $23 million total. There's also a $5 million fine. If Oregon State and Washington State wake up a year from now and say, we don't want to do this, or wake up and have an offer from the Big 12 or the AAC, if they exit, they have to pay a $5 million fine to buy their way out of the scheduling alliance. There's also a price tag. If the PAC2 wants to raid the Mountain West, if they want San Diego State, Boise State, Fresno State, and the other marquee programs, they're going to have to pay to get each school. And for every school they take, the price tag to buy that school out of the Mountain West to relocate them to the PAC2, it starts at $10 million for the first school, $10.5 million for the second school, $11 million for if you take the third school, goes all the way up to $12 million. If they were to take the top 6 from the Mountain West, it would cost Oregon State, Washington State, and the PAC2 conference, it cost them $67 million. Now that 67 would go to the Mountain West. In addition, Mountain West, as part of this new deal, it's a 106-page document. I read part of it till I went blind. 106-page document. The exit fees for San Diego State, Boise State, whomever, would still stay in place. They would have to pay $16 million to opt out of the Mountain West to go to the PAC2, and the PAC2 would be paying the purchase fees on top of the money the schools exiting would have to pay. I mean, it's an amazing amount of money. Now, there's all exceptions to anything. Whether I like you or dislike, there's always an exception. Here we go. If the Mountain West, if all 11 want to leave, all the fees go away. If Oregon State, Washington State come to agreement, we'll take all of you. 0 fees. The whole conference moves to the PAC2.
Okay.
Or the conference can be dissolved. The Mountain West can fold, not that they want to, but they can fold. If 9 of the 12 teams vote to dissolve the Mountain West, story is over. Conference offices close, go dark. If 9 of the 12 vote to dissolve, then they can go without any payments at all, without any exit fees, etc., and the Mountain West would disappear off the globe. So there's a lot of levels here as to what is going to happen. But they're locked in scheduling-wise 24 and 25. There's enormous amounts of money that would change hands if Oregon State, Washington State, and others start to show up and say, okay, we want San Diego State and Boise State and Fresno and whatever. It would leave behind a real mess. It would leave behind a terrible situation in Mexico, maybe even at the Air Force Academy. I don't know that the PAC2 wants to take everybody, but now it's in place, at least for the next 2 years, if you want to leave. And John Riley says,
this is really complicated. I mean, it's
the other one who went to math class.
Yeah.
So you know new math. I don't.
Whatever happened to California and no fault divorces, where you just split 50-50. If it just seems so obvious that you just take the PAC2 and the Mountain West and combine them. And sure, some of the programs in the Mountain West aren't that sexy, but every conference has those that are down in the bottom. You got the Vanderbilts in the SEC and
the Rutgers.
Yeah. So, if you've got, a Wyoming or a New Mexico, and hey, Wyoming, by the way, has a quarterback in the final, the divisional playoffs in the NFL. So just combine these 2 conferences, simplify it, and I think we're in better shape.
Okay, that's where we are. Hey, we get to halftime. Before we do any business,